go.
Swipe down to stop. Okay, we're good.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
See, when you sit back like that, my head looks. I look like the
Where'd you
Easter
go?
Island
All I
person.
see is a calf. All I see is this huge calf.
And now my giant head.
Oh my God, you're so silly. You know what? We need equal there.
All right.
There he is. It's still your calf. That is an impressive leg. That is a nice man leg.
You know, I was born with them.
Thank God. They're a nice stabilizer.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody on Periscope and on Instagram Live.
Yeah, Instagram
Periscope
Live.
is Twitter, and of course, good morning, OnlyFans. See, you have such good eyes. I see Danielle. I see. Is that Becky? Is there a Becky?
Yeah,
Mike?
my eyes aren't that great either.
You have
Mike,
bullshit. You have 20/20.
I do.
I know you do. The doctor said so.
Yeah, but normally that's not that far away.
I know.
That's way
It's
far
a
away. You want me to
bench.
move it closer so
No,
we can?
it's okay. It's okay. Oh, how was everybody's Father's Day weekend? Happy Father's Day to all of you out there who may be fathers. It's no joke of a job right there. It's not.
That's for sure. So yeah, we're live on Periscope and on Instagram and over at OnlyFans, and we're gonna spend some time here initially with everybody, and then we're gonna shut things down and have a little more private time with just our folks over on OnlyFans. And if you want to see that, come on over to onlybrandi.com and join the fun.
Yeah, we like group activities, so we get everybody involved, and then we go off with the with just the Only Members fans, Only
Yep.
Brandi fans.
That's right.
Why are you laughing
I
at me?
don't know. You're like in a fog this morning.
He's ripping on me all morning about being out of it. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Well, it was, we had a great weekend. We went down to the coast of North Carolina, to Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah, Wilmington. That's what happens. See what happens when you take me away from the water? Leave my brain there. My soul and my brain are at the water. And
You really do love the beach.
I really do. It's gotten to be from, like, when you're a kid and you get to go to the beach. Some of you may have been born and raised on the water. I wasn't. We had a boat, so that was amazing. And I was a fish as a kid, man. If there was water, I don't care if it was a pond, I was jumping in. But as you're growing up through your teens and your 20s and even 30s, I was like, woohoo, vacation. Let's go to an island. Let's go to Florida. Let's go to... It always involved water. And at this point in my life, it's like part of my soul. And when I'm removed from the water, it used to be a fun vacation, then I leave and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Now I feel a sadness. The farther away I go from the water, I actually can feel it. And that's bizarre and that's new. But it's okay. It's what...
Yeah.
I have no doubt that I was meant to be by the water all the time. All the time. Maybe I'll just dig a...
Mark's a good morning to Panda.
Aw, Panchweenie. Hey, baby. People are saying hi to you. She's not ready to wake up yet either.
So a number of people asked what it was like down at the coast as far as was it busy? Were there things going on with how did they handle masks and so on? And what were your thoughts on what we saw?
Well, as we were pulling into Wrightsville, it was very busy, beach busy. The bridge was backed up. People were running, jogging, walking. People were playing tennis. So we both were like, yes.
And outside, they weren't wearing masks.
No, nobody was. So it felt like it felt normal. It felt good, and I was actually really excited to be getting to ingratiate into what would feel like a normal weekend, and it was for the most part, as long as you were outside. When we pulled up to the hotel, the valets were wearing masks, and they checked your ID, took your temperature, and we're both going, oh man. And it's fine. You're not. I was never mad at them. I understand they're only doing what's being enforced upon them by local government, And they ask you to wear your mask through the lobby.
Yeah, basically any of the common areas indoors.
Within the hotel, yeah.
But once you're outside, you can peel them off.
And people were doing so for the most part. There were those rebels, which I didn't have a problem with personally. But you could only go, you and your family or whomever you were traveling with could go in the elevator. Otherwise, you'd have to wait for the next elevator. Everything smelled like hand sanitizer because there were those squeegees everywhere. So, but everything outside was cruising along. I think the beach was full. People were suntanning. People put towels down on the beach. So it was beautiful to see.
Yeah, no, it was great. The
towel joke was for California.
Oh.
That was a law. Governor Newsom said you could go to the beach, but you can't put a towel down. That was actually a law. Anyway.
That went right over my head.
That was the thing, because I actually saw that out on the beach, and I was like, okay, so there's zero issue when you're outside here, which is cool. And Wrightsville's beautiful. My God, the food, the restaurants.
Food and restaurants were great. We went down there to meet some new friends. It's been interesting, for anybody who's been following what's going on social media within the industry itself. That sides have been taken, and it's no different than what's happening in general society. So the great part is that it's kind of revealed who our friends are in the business, and there's a lot more of them than we realized. And so a bunch of us got together down there in Wrightsville this weekend.
A positive out of a negative.
Yeah.
It's not anymore, but for that first week that all the things hit Twitter and our news and everything. I say Twitter specifically because the adult industry is actually smaller. Once you're in it, it's smaller than it may seem. So you really do get to know everybody, and I've been involved for 16 years. So to literally watch that community of people implode on itself and basically cannibalize and name call and point and rip one another apart, it was weird for a week. It was tough.
Yeah.
The first week was really brutal, and then things started to happen that I stood my ground. I've always been the same person. I mean, attack me now for it, whatever. That's fine. But things that I wasn't expecting, like certain companies to have my back, and certain actors and directors that I didn't know. I didn't know where we stood, and it's been awesome. I'll take that handful of people that in my opinion rose to the top, and everything else it's fine. It'll work itself out.
I think, I'm not sure who it was on your OnlyFans, just said that in Maryland you can go to the beach, but you can't put sunblock on somebody else.
Oh! So everyone's going to have burns like in splotches because you can't get that.
That's goofy.
I don't know. All of those kind of laws just seem like power plays. Like, hee, my kitty, what can I get you to do to make you look like a jackass?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, because there's no common sense.
Yeah.
Or science behind it. I just don't get it.
No, that's pretty weird.
And each state has its own little...
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that basically the beaches were packed, mm-hmm. the resorts were packed, the restaurants were packed, and everybody was talking. So everybody maintained in the restaurants, the
6 foot.
Yeah, they cleared out probably half, maybe to a third of their
I would say so.
tables.
Mm-hmm.
So when conversations were taking place, which was kind of fun to see, because we were talking to everybody at other tables.
Yeah.
And the conversations were always the same. People have had it. Here in North Carolina, Governor Cooper, nobody's listening to him anymore. So it doesn't matter what rule he says he's going to put in place. Nobody's going to listen to it.
No.
And I'm glad for that.
Yeah,
so.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
So
what did everybody else do this weekend? It was really cute. One of the things we saw was multi-generational families having dinners together and celebrating Father's Day, and Big Daddy had his grandchildren with him and his children. It was neat. We personally have very, very small families. We don't have multi-generational unfortunately, families that come together, it's just not.
But we don't. I mean, I don't have any family other than
Well,
other than
that's
Dave.
pretty small.
I've got one person
That's what I
left,
was saying.
basically, in my family.
As do I.
Yeah, as do you.
One. So.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So there's not going to be any parties quite like that. But, you know, we all have our lot in life. But
That's
it
right.
is neat. I always look upon that and think, oh, it's awesome to see. It's really awesome to see.
Somebody said, love the connection between us over on Periscope. 25 years, you know. Actually 27, but 25 married.
Yeah, it was 2 years prior.
Yeah. I know. Still love you just as much, if not more.
More on most days. Not every day, but most days.
That's not true. It's on all days.
We all have our bad days. No, it's all good.
Dinner with kids and grandkids.
Aww.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
It was good to see everybody getting back to normal. That's for sure.
Yep, I agree.
Walking around with masks in a lobby of a hotel was weird, but whatever.
Yeah, you do what you have to do. I don't want to... I mean, I know it might seem really weird coming from my mouth, but I genuinely... Oh, thank you.
Somebody wants to see your souls.
Thank you so much. Put this down. Who did that? Thank you, Seavic. It's so good to see you. the Reds...
Let me see those. Wow.
Are you inspecting the soles of my feet?
I am.
You so crazy. Let's see.
I'm more of an ass guy than the foot
You're
guy,
definitely an ass man. Yeah, that's why I've been doing squats twice a week. Get that booty back up.
Just for me?
Just for you.
I love that about you.
You've been a booty man since I met you.
I have been.
That's what it was all about. These were for me. You don't really care much about... I mean, you like them. It's nice that they complete the figure,
Yeah.
but...
Well, speaking of being a booty man, somebody sent a question in as part of those 365 questions.
Yeah.
It just made me think. So somebody on here was a soul, wanted to see your feet. I'm an ass guy, but obviously you've been the MILF for years. And somebody asked the question, that they've seen you in those roles as a teacher, as, the boss, corporate, business suits and so on. And they've fantasized about you that way. Have you ever fantasized about a boss or about a teacher?
Probably at this point in my life, I fantasize more about those situations I'm put in really happening. Like if I were the professor in a real situation, or if I were a boss or had a secretary or whatever, and actually not scripted with but it really happening. I would say I think more about that because my sexual fantasies and my sex life is way more colorful now than when I was growing up. When I was younger, I was totally I was like a pilgrim.
So Gilligan's Island, who have you gone for?
Now I'd want to be Ginger.
And who?
I want to be her.
And hook up with the professor?
Which one was the professor? Which is the one that always was smoking a cigar and always had a suit on?
It was either
the yacht captain.
It was either Thurston Howell III or the professor.
No, it would have been the professor. I liked the way Thurston looked, but I guarantee you he was prudish. So I would actually probably think that the professor and Ginger would be a hot.
That's who was the.
Oh
yeah.
See, I didn't really watch Gilligan's Island. I mean, I remember certain characters, but I don't. I just remember that scrawny dude that looked like Scrappy from Scooby-Doo. Or Shaggy.
That's Gilligan.
Right. I remember him and his buddy, the big round buddy, always trying to get off the island, and they always failed. And I remember Ginger, because even when I was a kid, I thought, wow, she's so fancy.
That'd be interesting. Ginger or Marianne to the people watching?
Who did you guys prefer, Ginger or Marianne?
You said Scrappy. That's funny.
I meant Gilligan, Shaggy. I was talking about Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Ginger. It seems like
There's
Ginger.
A Marianne.
There's a Marianne.
Woodchuck.
Oh, there's a bunch of Mariannes just popped up. Oh, it's about 50-50 so far.
I totally get that because they both have such unique qualities and their personalities are so very different. The thing you got to watch with the gingers is sometimes they think they're so pretty that all the sexuality comes out in the tease and then they suck in bed. Whereas Marianne with her like brown pigtails, you think, oh, she's so girl next door, cute and innocent, and she's the freak. That's why the ones are picking Marianne because they know this to be true.
Marianne, because she can cook.
Oh, we were just
I know, we were just talking about it. We had a big discussion with the group down in Wrightsville. And this wasn't about shooting down there. This was really
this is just friends. Just
friends
getting to know people.
And future business. And it was really interesting because over and over we heard that even from their fan bases that cooking shows were enormously popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of them have in the shutdown have been doing things like that on Periscope and Instagram Live and.
Well, when I did that, when we did that cooking show for Exotica, you guys know Exotica TV. I assume if you don't, check out Exotica TV. Awesome interviews and live shows and all sorts of cool things. We've done 2, and the first one was a cooking show where I was a sous chef. Of course, he was the chef because that's not me. I'd love to learn, though. That might be one of the things that anyway, I digress. We did this cooking show, and I was told that it had more views than any other show that had been done yet. And trust me when I tell you, there were some very sexy, cool shows that I watched. So there is definitely something to.
Yeah.
We took it a little farther because it was a very sexy cooking show. But still, it was the act of cooking. Yeah. Being in the kitchen, dicing stuff up, and you guys can't even smell the aromas, but I know when I watch cooking shows and the chef is doing this, and you can see the steam, you can almost the garlic,
true.
or the whatever, cilantro.
Well, we could do that about liquor, beer, and wine.
I am a great chef. I'm a really great chef when it comes to spinning liquor.
Well, and you make great drinks.
I can make some pretty good drinks.
You're a great drink maker. What now? I was going to ask one of the questions from the 365 list, and I sometimes with my concussion I forget what was the question that I was going to ask. You did
ask it about the professor.
No, that one just came up.
Oh, that just popped into your head.
Yeah, that one flew in there and for no good reason.
It flew in and it came out your mouth.
I can't remember, but there was one specifically. Oh, your phobias.
Oh.
Yeah, what is your greatest phobia and why?
I have 2 of them. And it's not many. Very little scares me and very little it causes a phobia or creates phobia to the point of having anxiety. And one of them, the top one is probably snakes. And it's so weird because I'm an animal lover, pretty much. I mean, bugs don't bother me, spiders don't bother me, and there isn't an animal that I'd go, oh my God. Not one, as you know.
Yeah.
But snakes, even when they're small, it's like an embarrassing reaction because, when a woman sees a mouse in the cartoons, they eat and they jump on a table or whatever. And I always think that's so ridiculous. It's a tiny little mouse.
Yeah.
That's totally me. When I see a snake, we were hiking the other day.
Yeah, snakes really freak you out.
It was barely the size of an earthworm.
Yep.
But it's something about the motion.
Yep.
It even talking about it makes me really physically uncomfortable. I don't know. I feel bad because they've never done anything to me. I've never been bit by a snake. I've never been attacked by a snake. The only thing I can possibly say is that as a child, and I don't know the age range, it was 150 years ago, but as a little kid, I had a reoccurring, which I'm sure there's some psychology behind this because it was reoccurring. That's not normal. I mean nightly for probably a year and a half. The same nightmare. And it was about a huge snake chasing me everywhere. I mean, I could go up to a 50th floor of a building and the snake's face would look at me. I mean, I could not get away from it. And I was just a little kid. And I'd wake up, every single night. And I wouldn't want to go back to bed because I'd go right back into the dream.
See, I grew up during those years in the country, and my dad built these bins, and we used to have snake catching contests on the weekends to catch the kids, and we would play for bags of marbles. So whoever caught the most snakes between I don't know what it was, like 9 o'clock in the morning and noon, won all the marbles. So I never grew up with a fear of snakes.
Well, I don't know why. Like I said, it's got to be the dream. It's totally irrational, but it's real. And then the only other thing that I have fear of is I'm claustrophobic. So if I'm put into a room without windows, I feel like I can't breathe, even if I can, and I start to hyperventilate. It's really ugly. It's not cute. And it sucks.
You are claustrophobic, that's for sure.
Yeah, I start sweating through my clothes and panicking.
Yep. Even in certain hotel rooms, if there aren't enough windows, you feel really uncomfortable.
Very much so. That's why our house has an exorbitant amount of windows.
Yes.
If people have seen our shower, which many of you have.
A lot of people hate being in closed spaces. I see that a lot on.
And what's the other thing that I do that kind of drives you nuts a little bit?
Oh, I know. I don't know what this is, but as people are like, it gives me panic attacks.
Yeah, me too.
So if I were to pan the cameras around the house right now, which I won't do because we just got back from...
The house is a mess.
Yeah, the house is a mess. But you'll laugh because all of the doors are open. Closet doors, pantry doors, bathroom doors.
The cat does it. The cat is constantly
all of the doors
opening.
in the house are open.
I do not like closed doors.
I know. I shut them all the time.
And I open them. I don't know what that is. I swear to God, it's not, I don't think I'm afraid of a boogeyman being behind there, because that was my first thought.
Yeah.
But it's not. The more doors that are open, the more space I feel like there is. It's that claustrophobia thing. I like it open.
Wow.
If you close that door, you lose 2 feet.
That's really kooky, babe.
You're weird that you don't have more kooks. What is that Friends show where she's like, my boyfriend can't.
Trust me, I have my kooks.
Not have issues.
Yeah. I almost knocked myself out one time trying to get a bee away from my head.
You've knocked out a lot of people trying to get bees away from your head. It's a violent reaction
I don't like bees.
To bumblebees. But it's real.
he's like,
OCD about the doors being open?
Just doors and cleaning. Just those two things.
Apparently I'm not. I'm getting better.
It's bothering you.
Shut up. Panda, I'm going to talk to Panda.
That's too funny.
I do like a clean home, but I don't do it to the point where I can't function.
No.
Not quite that bad.
No.
I think it's a female thing too. I'm just putting it out there. I talk to more women who say, "Oh my God, I have the same issue or a similar issue in regards to the cleaning." And I don't know if that's truly in our makeup.
Well, I'm glad for that. I mean, I cook, you clean. It works out great.
It works for us. And I don't know if we're born that way.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. It works when you find the right partner, and this one's good at this and this one's good at that. It's fucking brilliant. But it is interesting how many more women, just in life, whether they're single, whether they're, living with friends, there's a cleanliness. There's this I swear, I think our mothers raised us to go, cleanliness is next to godliness. You've heard this a million times. Or you have the mother that does it your whole life, like you.
Yep.
Wipes up behind you as you're doing stuff.
Drive me crazy.
Okay, well, when you're the daughter of a woman like that, you wonder if that's like you're taught. We can unteach ourselves, but it's a curious thing. I don't know.
Somebody asked if I lost it. They love the smell of clean. That I get.
How many times when we have professionally cleaned, I walk in and I go,
yep.
I do too. I absolutely love the smell. And it's just most cleaners. I mean, I don't love the smell of bleach, but I guess if I look around the area is clean and I smell bleach, I think, ooh, that's great. I love it.
It does smell nice.
It does. Yeah. It's just fresh.
Well, do you want
to spend some time?
Yeah, good deal. All right, guys. Those of you on Periscope and Instagram, we're going to shut that down and head over, spend some time with the folks on OnlyFans. More than welcome to come on over there and join us at onlybrandi.com. And we will see you guys again tonight.